Hello everyone, and welcome to Barrier Breach. Today we are exploring our first Chilla's art game in this series, and what better to cover than none other than Aka Manto. This game is awfully similar to Nun Massacre, and I'm pretty sure this is the first Chilla's art game that I've ever played, so let's go over this and see what goes on behind the scenes. So first I wanted to load in our player model, which is actually a boy as you can see. The game implies that we are playing as a girl, but I'm more than positive this is just an asset Chilla's art used, since we never get to see ourselves anyway. This model has a drastically different art style than the other characters that we see, such as these schoolgirls who are the ones that forced us to go in here in the first place. There are 3 bikes in total, which makes sense since there are 3 of us here, but I still wonder why these girls are forcing us to do this alone. These are definitely not friends I would have. Just behind the girl is this large road, which doesn't really lead to anywhere on both ends, but we are able to get a better view of the barrier tree line texture, which is used to surround this entire environment. So before we enter the school, I do want to explore this area a little bit. Unfortunately, there didn't appear to be any directional lighting to turn on, so this game might be difficult to see. With that being said, I will turn up the brightness in post and increase lighting whenever I can, but I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. The first main thing I wanted to go over is this large soccer field, which I had no idea was here at all. It's actually kind of impossible to see this from the front of the school, so it was interesting to see such a large area behind it all. The second main thing I wanted to go over is the inside of the school, which is modeled to some degree. I know it's quite hard to see, again I will try my best to make it look better, but there are actually a ton of hallways and rooms within here, which look nothing like the inside we get to explore. Most of these are empty, but I was able to find this large room which appears to be a locker room of some sort. Surprisingly, there was another floor with a flight of stairs that led up to it, and this floor will end up having a lot more to look at. First, I found these boards along the walls of the hallway, which display random things probably relating to the schoolwork by the students of this school. Next, I found a room which was fully modeled, sporting desks, chalkboards, and pull-down charts. It's pretty cool seeing things like this since these interiors are never actually used in the main level, so you have to wonder if the devs originally wanted the game to be placed here. Finally, I was able to find the only bathroom here. Okay fellas, that is going to be it for the outside of the school. Pretty awesome seeing this entire thing since we don't get to see like half of it, and I like how everything sort of connects on the outside. So in this next section, we are going to explore the main part of the game, which is of course the inside of the school. So first I wanted to start by increasing the brightness of lights that are already present within the game. Like I mentioned before, this game has 0 universal lighting, so it's extremely dark, which is not good for an exploration like this. With that being said, there are still portions of the map which are pitch black, which really sucked since I wanted everything to be visible, but I guess we're just gonna have to deal with it. Kicking off at the beginning, did you know that the buckets we are able to interact with and fill up are placed just out of bounds here? It's pretty cool seeing these puzzle items lined up like this outside of the map, and this is more than likely just a placeholder for these until you get to use them in game. Next, I wanted to check out that well that talks to us to see if there's actually anything in there. As you can see, the well goes down quite a bit, but there's nothing here at the bottom. Following that, we have the library, and the first thing I did here was remove these cobwebs, cause who the hell likes cobwebs? Oh hell no. I tried seeing if the yellow paper we collect from here is underneath the pool, but again, it was just empty. Finally, we have the rooftop area, which is where we are able to get the escape ending. Here we see another schoolgirl spirit standing by the door, and this is the first time we are able to get a somewhat decent look at her model. I know she is still a silhouette, but you can kind of make out her outfit and her hairstyle, which was pretty neat. The opening that we used the rope on just leads to the void, as you can see. So something really cool I was able to bring back are these dev notes scattered throughout the entire school. I'm going to show gameplay in the background while I talk about this, but this was such an awesome discovery. These are obviously developer notes that the game dev used to remind themselves of where to place certain items, as well as the status of certain doors and interactables. Sometimes the note will have instructions on how to unlock it, which would have been a cool extra feature to add for players. These notes are literally everywhere and probably help the dev when balancing and finishing this game. Okay, so I know you're probably waiting for the main attraction, which is of course Aka Manto. Thankfully, Aka Manto functions like many villains we've looked at, where he is spawned in at all times, patrolling the entire map at random. This was especially great to do since Aka Manto usually runs down on your cheeks almost instantly, leaving you no time to really get a good look at them. So hopefully this will make it easier to get a good look at the model. There are also these weird floating masks that patrol the entire map, but they aren't nearly as important. Aka Manto quite literally goes into every room and every hallway throughout this level, which leaves no area unmonitored by him. Yes, it's a him. I thought it was a she at first, but no, it's a him. This is also the first game we've covered that actually has a second version of this same villain, which is a much more demonic and evil version of Aka Manto, as if he wasn't evil already. This version spawns in the latter half of the game and is much faster, stronger, and scarier than the regular version. I was able to have them both spawn at the same time, if you could believe it. Imagine a game mode where you have to face 2 Aka Mantos. You know what? That should actually be added to the game as an extreme mode. This totally isn't creepy at all. So before I show you one of the endings, I wanted to show you all the recordings of all the different rooms from above. Apart from what I showed you already, that is pretty much it for this game. And I was surprised that I didn't have any more to cover. With that being said, here is what the entire map looks like from above. Okay, so the only ending that really has any unique animations is the Kill Aka Manto ending. After collecting all 7 colored papers and presenting them to the shrine, you are given a katana, which you can use to end Aka Manto once and for all. When right-clicking on evil Aka Manto, the katana is thrusted into its chest as they fall over and bleed out on the floor. That is when the game fades to black and we are shown a credit roll of the ending we got. I would have shown the other ending as well, but given that nothing happens and you just climb out of the rooftop with no animation, I didn't think there'd be anything to show there. That ending also has its own unique credit roll with different images and text used, as you can see. None of these texts are spawned in, everything is present from the beginning and simply just makes its way up to the player's camera in front of the slideshow. So that is going to be it for the Aka Manto barrier breach. Who Drank, if you're watching this one's for you, buddy. I knew when I started this series that I wanted to cover this game eventually. The only thing that kinda took me so long to get around to this is that I didn't even want to think about beating this game again, since the first time around it took me 2.5 hours, but you know I had to do it for you guys and get the kill ending, even though it only translated to like 10 seconds of screen time. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video and happy New Year's to everyone. Cheers to a prosperous and healthy year, my beautiful subscribers. I'll catch you guys later.